Hello, everyone. Thank you for tuning in. I am JayLee. This is JLeesCorner, and this is a story time. Only because I had a thought earlier today. And I'm like, I'm gonna do a little story time about that. Okay, but y'all know first things first. If you have not done so already, please remember to subscribe to my channel and become a whole JayBirds, dun 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 dun, and all that goodness and stuff. Center yourself. Okay, you can also like, comment, and share this video. Follow me on IG and or Twitter at J_Lees_Corner. Okay, and if you can't see that on the screen somewhere, the link to my social medias are all in the description box below. This is going to be a quick story time, okay? And I was sitting listening to something. I can't even remember what it was, and it popped in my head. What was your worst temp job? What was your worst temp job? Which one did you just not like at all? And I'm like, you know what? I had a few. So when I graduated high school, I did not want to go to college. I don't like school. I've never been a person to learn by like sitting in the classroom and being taught by someone else. I'm very much so a hands-on learner. If you show me something, I learn it quick. Okay, I retain information really well or whatever. I'm a hands-on person or whatever. That was nasty. Anyway, so I was lucky enough. After I graduated, I got with a temp agency and everything, and I was working different office jobs, and I was consistently being placed because I was very good. Okay, because I had also worked like in the office at our school, my high school, like for like 4 years. So I was placed at like a travel agency, okay, when you would call and make your travel arrangements. Now, I was not the one booking your travel, but again, after you booked it, I would like get the paperwork together. I would like print out tickets and stuff like that. We even did traveling stuff for different government affiliates, like different companies about and stuff like that. That wasn't that bad. Like, I remember working with the people was really cool. And for some reason, I remember just always stapling together the airplane tickets. It was weird or whatever. But I was placed on this one assignment. And I'm not going to say the name of the place because I really can't remember it. But I know it was in Fraser, Michigan. And it was like an automotive place. Okay. And again, all my jobs were office type jobs, front office type stuff or whatever. And I forgot how long the assignment was for, but it was supposed to be like a front desk receptionist, okay? Taking phone calls, preparing documents, all that stuff, okay? And this was back in maybe 2003 or 2002, back in the early 2000s or whatever. And so I went to this job, and I did not have a car back then. And so that was probably before that, probably was like around 2001. So I didn't have a car. I was catching the smart bus to work, and my mom or my dad would like drop me off at the bus stop, and then the kind of bus stop I would go to was a smart bus. Okay, you have smart buses here in Michigan, in Detroit, and you have like the D-Dot buses. D-Dot buses are the Detroit buses, where sometimes you would not be on time, but the smart buses, okay, in the suburbs was always really on time or whatever. So this particular one was where you would go to a location and they would take you directly to where you were going. So like if you pick it up on, let's say 9 Mile in Greenfield or whatever it was, they would take me to my job, like to the parking lot of my job. And then to pick me up, I could call them and say, hey, I'm leaving work at this time, and they would come pick me up and then take me back to the drop-off location or whatever. So I was catching the bus back and forth or whatever. Now my mom or my dad will pick me up from there and bring me home. So first day, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna have fun. It's gonna be great. And they didn't really need anyone. I really feel like they just wanted someone to sit and see. So I had nothing to do all day. I would sit there and like just look at a spreadsheet, and I would say if whatever parts they were ordering for big orders for all these companies was in. And I'm like, but it was really like, it wasn't much because the other lady who was there did most of it. And I'm looking like, I don't have nothing to do. And then the office I sat in was like, it smelled funny. I didn't like that or whatever. And I was working on like a little laptop, and I'm like, this is just so boring. It was a very boring place. It was very, very boring. Okay. And I'm like, I can't stay here. Like I can't keep working here like this. I literally felt like I was going to go insane in this job, okay? Because I was literally there for like 8 hours a day doing nothing. And because I was a temp, like I could, back then we didn't have cell phones and internet and social media. So if you were at work bored, you were just at work bored, okay? You were at work bored. I couldn't do anything. Okay, couldn't do nothing. And I couldn't even leave on lunch and go to work because guess what? I didn't have a car. So I would have to eat lunch in the cafeteria. It was bad. Okay, it was just boring. And I remember I called the temp agency and I was like, I can't stay here. Like I'm like, they don't really even need me. I need y'all to find me somewhere else to, because I can't do this. I'm leaving today and I'm not coming back. And it was like, okay, we'll get somebody else scheduled. I'm like, fine. But I was like, can y'all not tell them yet so that it's not weird, the rest of the day? And they're like, no, well, have a conversation with them, whatever is fine. And I remember I told the job place, I don't feel well. I'm gonna leave early. And I called the smart bus. Hey, I need y'all to come pick me up 2:30, whatever time it was or whatever. And I remember that I typed a sorry to let y'all know I will not be back. If this isn't gonna work out, like you guys don't really need me, and I feel like my skills could be used better somewhere else for somebody who really needs me to work there. And I typed it up on a little laptop. And I left the laptop open on the desk, and I left while they were at lunch or whatever. And so I remember sitting in the in the front lobby waiting for the smart bus to pull up and pick me up. And they're like, "Oh, you're leaving her?" Yeah, I don't feel well. I really don't. And then I have to leave before anybody sees what I wrote on the laptop, because I don't want to be awkward. Okay, I don't want it to be awkward. So I had to call back. It's my, hey, y'all on the way? She's like, yeah, they're on the way to be fine. So like right as the boss dude was going into the office where the laptop was open and you could see, my note or whatever, the bus put up, and I just hot-tailed it out of there and left and never looked back. Never looked back. It was horrible. It was so boring. I was like, ugh. It reminded, like, even when I went to trade school. Okay, I went to trade school, and I went to Everest. Okay, Everest Institute, which it has had many different names, but it's the kind of trade school you go to when you want to be like a massage therapist. You want to work the front office of a medical place, or if you want to be a medical assistant, it's that kind of thing. I went there, and when I went there, it was maybe a 6 to 9 month program, and it really helped me because it's part of the reason I am in the field I'm in today, but not because of what they taught me per se. Okay, per se, because when you go to Everest, you do your little 9 months or whatever of schoolwork. They're then going to place you in an externship at the end of it, and you hope to get hired into wherever you do your externship at. Well, when I finished my little 9 month thing, they put me at a location at Providence Hospital, but it was like a Providence Hospital, like in the file room, and it like they didn't have computers. It was literally a file room where you would just file papers, but I was not able to learn anything. Like I was the only one there. I'm like, this isn't a proper externship. This is dumb. This is stupid. I'm not gonna stay here. I'm gonna leave. And then I did. I chose to not go back. I ended up getting a job somewhere else in an actual office with neurosurgeons or whatever. And I was there for like 3 years after that. But Everest would not give me credit for working because they said you can't get credit hours for your externship if you're working. And I'm like, okay, well, I can do like 1 hour a day of not getting paid, and they wouldn't let me do that. I'm like, y'all ain't shit. Y'all gave me a punk ass externship that I had to quit. Okay, like I had to quit. It made me mad. But My point is, when I am somewhere and I don't feel happy, I will leave. Like, I will leave. Like, you know what, I'm done. I had another job. I was working at a law firm. Now, this was, when was this? This is back when I was dating me. So when was, I don't even know what year it was, but it was a little 2 office lawyer's office in Detroit on the west side on Wyoming, and it was across the street from a hair salon, which is kind of funny. But one of the partners like moved to Atlanta, and then one partner was left here in Detroit, and they didn't have much traffic and everything or whatnot. And I was making maybe like $9 an hour back then, and it was some bullshit, and that it got to the point to where like the lawyer wasn't even coming. I would be the only one in the office, and it was a small office. It was a rinky-dink office or whatever. And then I remember, I made up a whole lie. I remember we were planning to move locations. Okay, from one office that was the bigger office, and they were merging with another firm. Okay, and he was like, well, I don't know how long we'll be able to keep you on staff because they already have one legal secretary there, and they may not need to add you to it. I'm like, well, you need to let me know like what's gonna happen. And he said, well, I can probably keep you on part-time. And I was like, yeah, okay. Now, it was fine when it was me there, because I was young, I had no bills or whatever. It was me there in the office by myself because I could, just chill out or whatever. But you're not gonna put me in the office with other people, and I'm not full time. I'm gonna be getting paid even less money. And I remember, it was payday, and he wrote me a personal check that I then went to the bank around the corner that it was written on, and they would not cash it. They were saying that there was not enough money in that account to pay me. And I was like, what? And my check couldn't have been more than like maybe $400. Something like, what the fuck you mean? So I'm like, Mr. So-and-so, you need to go out of bed because they won't get, like, this is my work check, like for working the previous, week or whatever. I'm like, they won't cash my check. What's up with that or whatnot? He's like, oh, I'm going to call. So he ended up having to call the bank, come down to the bank in order for them to cash my little $400 and some dollar check or whatever. And I'm like, see, this is a sign from God. Okay. And so the following day, when I was supposed to go to work, I called and I said, I can't come to work because our house caught on fire. I'm like, I don't know why I thought of that lie. I'm like, so I'm probably not going to be able to come back because I have to handle this. Like, I can't worry about being there part-time. I told him that our house caught on fire. Girl, oh, stupidity. But I was just like, I ain't want to go back, and I didn't know what else to say, whatever, and I did not want to go to work. So to this day, I don't know if that man know that my house really did not catch on fire. Like, it did not at all. But I didn't want to be there. So, I gotta go. I got my check. I'm gone, okay? So I had a lot of weird, odd jobs when I was younger. From like the time I was fresh out of high school until around 2004 is when I really started like keeping jobs like for a long time. And it was not jobs through temp agencies. I was like, okay, I was getting my own stuff. But it's also the reason why I'm so well-rounded because I literally have worked at a law firm. I worked for bankers. I worked for people in the automotive industry. I have worked for neurosurgeons. I've worked in billing. I worked in mortgage. But I have this well-roundedness of information. So I think that's why when I went to interview for the job where I work now, and I have been where I am now for 5 years. And I think when I went there and I interviewed, and where I work now, I interviewed about, it was less than a month after my dad passed away. And when I went on the interview, a temp agency I had been working with a while ago just called me. And I was like, I don't want to work. Like I'm chilling or whatever. I don't want to do anything. And they kept saying, I think this would be a really good thing. Like it's for 6 weeks. It's just to do like a little program they have or whatever they need for the summer. And it's just 6 weeks. So it'll just give you time, like, you know what I'm saying? Do something, but not do too much. And the hours was kind of cool. And I'm like, all right, but I'm going. I'm not doing no second interviews, whatever. I'm doing one thing, that's it. And when I went, I remember I wasn't even, at my best, because I didn't give a fuck at that point in time. I was still like in the haze of losing my dad. And when she was talking to me and she was just looking over my resume, she was like, oh, so you worked here and here and here? I'm like, yeah, I've been with these 2 temp agencies, and I was always being placed at all these amazing places because my skill level, covered so much that I was able to be placed, here, there, and everywhere. And she was like, oh. And little bit did I know, she loved me based on my expertise or whatever. And even now, that's the reason why the big wigs at my job come to me as if I'm a big wig, because I'm that bitch or whatever. But I guess the whole point of this thing was, in my younger years, I had these crazy temp jobs for like 2 weeks here. I had one temp job that was 2 days. I hated those. I preferred to have temp jobs that was at least 2 weeks to a month, just because it's consistent. I hate, because you go to a job for 1 day and you don't know what you're supposed to do. And if you're there for 2 days, what the fuck I'm gonna do besides sit here? So I prefer being there for a longer period of time to get used to things and to learn new things. So I will always tell them, no, I don't want any 1 or 2 day assignments. I think I only had that like twice. And I was like, I don't want that no more. Like, if it's not at least 2 weeks, I don't want it. And I'm like, and I got from that to if it's not at least a month, I don't want it. And then once I got able to, like, you know what, I'm done with temping, I'm just gonna put my resume out and get jobs. And I did. And I've been able to do that. I never went to a 4-year college. I just have a high school diploma and my trade school stuff and some classes I've taken at Wayne State to better myself with, computers and all that stuff. And then I'm amazing. Okay, I'm amazing. So, I went through the bullshit and I'm good now. But yeah, I had to tell them people, 1, my house burned down, and 2, I left one note and told them I can't be here no more. I want to leave. I don't want to do this anymore. I even worked through the temp agency at GM OnStar. It was crazy. It was one girl. I'm not gonna go there. Anyway, that's my story time. Don't be afraid to go out on a limb and get a job with a temp company, because if you play your cards right, you can learn so many different skills that you can get any job you want. When I went and got the job at a law firm, and I was there for years, I didn't get that based on me having any law experience. I got that based on me having office experience, and then I had temped somewhere, for a minute at a law firm. And then I had it was like little stuff that built it up to me being at this big law firm for 2 years. Yeah, for 2 years. And even the medical job I had before, where I am currently, at the neurosurgeon's office from years before, I got that based on me just going to Everest and having that on my resume, but having years of office experience, years of stuff. It works. So if you are in a bind and not knowing what you want to do, don't be afraid. And I mean a real temp. I don't mean like a little rinky-dink MZN thing. I mean like go on Google, go to Monster, look at these temp companies or whatever, and they can place you. And you just have to go there with your best foot forward. Don't be like me and be an asshole and be like, I ain't doing this and I ain't doing that, and leave it in the middle of the day. I think back then it was a little bit more lenient to how things were. And I was a bit of I don't give a fuck about things. But anyway, yeah, that's my story time. I don't know what the point of it is. I guess I started from the bottom and now I'm here. Karla Johnson. Anyway, that is all. Do not forget to like, comment, and share this video. To always subscribe to my channel, okay? And until next time, people, until next time. Oh, if you have suggestions on other story times that y'all want from me, put that in the comment section below. I always ask that, and sometimes y'all say stuff and sometimes y'all ask stuff I already talked about. But if you have any ideas of what I should talk about, put it in the comment section. Okay, peace.